The water doesn't just hide secrets, it breathes. Somewhere beneath the crushing weight of the midnight zone, there's a pulse that doesn't belong to any animal known to science. For centuries, sailors whispered about an island that would suddenly grow eyes, a mass of flesh and suckers that could wrap around a galleon and pull it into the throat of the abyss. They called it the Kraken. But the Kraken isn't just a Norse legend. It is the shadow of something much older, something much more divine. It is the living manifestation of Poseidon's darkest thoughts. You see, when the god of the sea grows, bored with his beauty, he reaches into the blackest trenches of his realm and pulls out a nightmare.
Unveil the legends.
Most people think Poseidon rules the fish and the dolphins. They are wrong. He rules the things that eat the dolphins. He is the father of the Ketea, the massive bone-crushing leviathans that the ancients were too terrified to even name. Today, we aren't looking at the myths you learned in school. We are diving into the ink-black history of the real monsters of the deep. We're tracking the lineage of the beast that makes the ocean scream. This is the birth of the ultimate predator, and it started with a god who wanted to remind the world that the sea is not a highway, it's a graveyard. To understand the birth of the beast, you have to understand the loneliness of the deep. Poseidon lives in a palace of gold and coral, but his neighbors are blind, bioluminescent horrors that have never seen the sun. It was in this silence that the first monster was conceived. It wasn't an accident. It was a calculated response to human arrogance. Whenever a king claimed to be master of the waves, Poseidon would go to work. He didn't just summon a storm. He sculpted a biological weapon. He took the intelligence of an octopus, the armor of a crustacean, and the sheer mindless hunger of the void. This was Cetus, the original Kraken. It wasn't just a big fish. Ancient descriptions speak of a creature with the head of a boar, the body of a whale, and a tail that could create whirlpools just by twitching. When Queen Cassiopeia bragged that she was more beautiful than the sea nymphs, Poseidon didn't send a letter of protest. He released Cetus. This beast was so large it didn't eat people. It cleansed coastlines. It turned the vibrant city of Joppa into a silent, salt-crusted ruin in a single night. This is the true nature of Poseidon's monsters. They are his enforcers. They are the physical proof that your walls, your ships, and your gods on land mean nothing when the deep decides to reclaim its territory. But the monsters didn't stop with Cetus. Poseidon's children are a gallery of the grotesque. Think of Scylla, once a beautiful nymph, transformed into a multi-headed terror with a waist made of barking dogs, lurking in a narrow strait to snatch sailors from their decks. Or Charybdis, the living whirlpool that gulps the sea and vomits it back. Out a creature so vast, it's indistinguishable from the ocean itself. These aren't just creatures. They are extensions of Poseidon's own nervous system. The mystery lies in the how. How does a god create something that defies the laws of nature? The ancients believe that Poseidon's blood, the ichor of the sea, carried the blueprints for every horror imaginable. When he struck the ocean floor with his trident, he wasn't just making noise. He was vibrating the water at a frequency that woke up things that had been sleeping since the beginning of time. There are parts of the ocean where the water is so heavy it feels like solid lead. That is where the real Kraken lives. Not the one from the movies, but the one Poseidon keeps on a very short, very invisible leash. The most terrifying part of this mystery isn't the monsters themselves. It's the fact that they are still there, The Greeks didn't believe these beasts could be killed. They could only be avoided or appeased. Even when Perseus slew Cetus with the head of Medusa, the myth tells us the monster didn't disappear. It turned to stone, becoming the jagged rocks that still sink ships today. Poseidon's monsters are immortal because the ocean is immortal. Imagine a creature that doesn't need to breathe air, that can withstand pressures that would flatten a submarine, and that has been watching us from the dark for 3,000 years. To Poseidon, these aren't monsters. They are his pets. They are the loyal hounds that guard the gates of his empire. Every time a sonar ping picks up a bloop or an unidentified massive object moving faster than any whale, the mystery deepens. Is it a biological anomaly, or is the Earthshaker just restless? We have spent decades mapping the surface of Mars, but we know less than 5% of what happens at the bottom of our own trenches. In that 95% of darkness, Poseidon is still the architect. The Kraken is just a name we gave to our fear, a label for the giant tentacles we see in blurry deep-sea footage. But to the ancients, it was the wrath of the king. It was the reminder that we are only allowed to sail because the monsters haven't been told to rise yet. The connection between the Greek Ketea and the Norse Kraken is too close to be a coincidence. It suggests a global memory of a time when something truly massive ruled the waves, a time when the sea wasn't a resource, but a predator. Poseidon's legacy isn't just in the waves. It's in the DNA of every nightmare that features a tooth, a tentacle, or a shadow beneath the boat. As the sun sets over the horizon, the water turns from blue to a deep, bruised purple. That transition is the boundary between our world and his. Poseidon sits on his throne, his hand resting on the head of a beast so large it could swallow a continent. He isn't a god of mercy. He is a god of the deep, and the deep has many mouths. The next time you're swimming and something cold brushes against your leg, or you see a dark shape move just below the surface of a wave, don't assume it's seaweed. It might be a scout. It might be a memory. Or it might be the Kraken, finally, answering the call of its master's trident. The monsters aren't gone. They're just waiting for the tide to turn.